In Asia with Trump's visit that the media is trying to spin. We've got the biggest mass murder shooting in Texas history with an atheist SJW dirtbag as the mainstream media is desperate to cover that up. We have Rand Paul with a punctured lung and 5 broken ribs after he got attacked by his SJW neighbor who absolutely hates Rand Paul and President Trump and said so. We've got all of that. I've got the whole counter coup going on in Saudi Arabia on the plate to cover, where all the big globalist allies of the Bushes and the neocons and the people that support the Arab Spring are all getting arrested. And some are dying in helicopter crashes, and some are getting killed at their homes because they didn't put their hands up. I don't support this authoritarianism, but Saudi Arabia is already an authoritarian hellhole for the general public. And so the globalist interlopers that have been working with Iran and trying to double deal against the U.S., the true bad guys are getting killed because Trump went over there and gave them an offer they couldn't refuse. Trump is incredible. They are wiping out the SJWs, the pro-globalist, the royal princes that owned Fox News and that were anti-Trump and anti-America, the Clintons' biggest supporters, the Bush's biggest supporters, are being wiped out. That's a fact. Trump-era Saudi prince signals death of Bush-Clinton globalism. I'm going to tell you, Trump is something else, ladies and gentlemen, because, see, those that live by the sword die by the sword. Those that live by the sword die by the sword. And just like Obama put us under the TPP and all these other unelected tyrannical groups, Trump can kill it with executive power. Trump is outperforming what I thought he could ever do in the first 4 years, in the first 11 months. I am dumbfounded at how real this is. Is it perfect? No. Is he hiring a lot of globalists because they know where the bodies are buried and how to get the job done? Absolutely. But you know what? They're doing what he tells them. He snaps his fingers and says, jump. They say, how high, sir? And that's why they ate his guts. They want to be in the power. They want to be in the structure, but they don't like following his orders. And as the economy turns back on and as prosperity comes back and as optimism comes back and as pride in things that are good and wholesome comes back, the whole Hollywood pedophile scumbag network is circling the toilet bowl, and then Donna Brazil comes out. You can say what you want. She is a real lady in that she is not reading off a teleprompter and that she's a street fighter and that now she's talking and telling really what she thinks. She's glowing. Glowing. Compared to when she was putting out Clinton talking points, she looked like she'd been run over by a truck. But now that she's saying what she wants, I want to play most of this interview coming up the next hour. Brazil shaken and angered, again, Democrats shaken and angered by Brazil book. And she basically says Seth Rich was murdered by the DNC. The Democrats were in bed with the Russians. She didn't want to be part of it. They blocked Homeland Security being involved. She wanted to remove Hillary off the ticket and put Biden on. They stole the election from Sanders. We told you all of that with precision at the time. And I'm only pointing out why InfoWars is so demonized by mainstream media and by the globalists, by the Democrats, and by the rhinos, and why they struggle to keep our information from the president's desk, though now I know that blockade has been lifted. General Kelly and others hadn't figured out who was who yet. And now there's been some double-crossing going on against people in the administration that meant well, but that were fooled by deep staters. And now there's massive solidification behind the president across the board as it becomes apparent Trump's winning, the Trump agenda's winning, and the Trump agenda is powered. When you open up the engine, when you open up the hood, you see the pistons, InfoWars, Drudge Report, Sean Hannity. But driving those pistons are military, the American people, those that didn't back down when Americana was demonized and attacked, those that went under the peer pressure and didn't care and didn't give in and didn't take it lying down. You were the vanguard that made it okay to like free market and to like success and to like America and to promote it against the globalist model that is such a failure for the general public, but so good for the elites. And because of you, the gasoline, the oxygen, in the pistons, in the carburetor, in the engine, the economy's come roaring back. And we've seen some dirty white smoke and black smoke shooting out the back of the tailpipe. There's been some sputtering and some backfires, and the engines sounded like it was about to sputter out a couple times, but Trump expertly pumped the accelerator just right, put it in gear, got us rolling down the road, put it in another gear, and now we're driving down the road 100 miles an hour, and there's no smoke coming out the tailpipe, and all of a sudden the engine's hitting on all cylinders and sounds smooth and good. Now Trump can pull the car in to the service station and say, let's get this sucker upgraded and even better. But he had to get it out of the junk heap where the globalists were about to scrap the country on the altar of the New World Order. He had to get the old jalopy out of the wrecking yard where they had it ready next to be put in the crusher. And boy, we snuck in there in the middle of the night, and we put gasoline in there, and we dumped some ether down in the carburetor, and we got it on fire. Quite frankly, as we drove that old car out of the wrecking yard, she had fire coming out the tailpipe and was sputtering and clanking. But we got her down the road, baby. We got her down the road. You want an allegory? That's one right there. And right now, we're about to drive that car into the fine service station of the Free Republic. And we are that car, ladies and gentlemen. We are that old jalopy about to get a new engine, a new interior, new brake lines, new brake pads, new mufflers, new paint coat, new tires, new wheels. The whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is going in and about to come out the other side. And the New World Order doesn't know what to do. That's not optimism, by the way. We can do almost anything with the level of technological development we've already reached. If we're just not mentally ill, and if we just don't give in to the globalists and the social engineers that want to control the whole thing and don't want free market. If we can just deal with our own evil and our own internal problems, that's all of us individually. To not drink too much, not eat too much, not be selfish, to not be hateful, but to be strong and to work hard and to thank God for all the blessings we've been given and to reach out to others, then humanity's future is unbelievably bright. We have some big obstacles to hurdle first, though. It's going to get rougher before it even gets better. It's an experience we're going through right now. It's a journey, and the journey is the destination. We're going to face AI. We're going to face plagues. We're going to face nanotech. We're going to face all sorts of bizarre criminal networks and groups. We're going to face the evil side of humanity plugging into really high-tech systems. But we're also going to get a chance to see the good side of humanity plugging into all this as well. And it's going to be an incredibly spectacular, exciting journey of discovery and contest and warfare and resistance and striving that we're all about to experience. Or I'm going to come back and get to the governor's part of his press conference, some of the heroes that stopped this guy from killing more people, and how it was good guys that took out the bad guy with the gun, and how the globalists are fighting to cover up the fact this guy was an atheist, Christian-hating SJW, a coward, and a piece of crap, who wanted to show everybody what a little spoiled brat baby he was, how he was going to throw a big temper tantrum and kill his second wife because she didn't want to hang around with a big slob like him. It's scumbags like this is the reason we've got our second